webinar. We are so glad that you joined us today. We will be sharing an overview of our company, our program, and our plan that offers innovative solutions and a roadmap to generate increased sales and profits to ensure your long-term success. Our executive management team is here today, including David Sterenberg, CEO, United States, Evan Kinsella, CFO, and Alex Cohen, Senior Vice President. They're all in attendance. Speaking today will be Darren Rawson, President of Steren Electronics, and Craig Feldman, President of NewTek Supply. We welcome your questions. They can be submitted online at any time or as time permits. Simply click the questions box located on the right-hand side of your screen. You can also contact us by email at info@sterenusa.com. Again, that's email at info@sterenusa.com. We will also post your questions and answers on our transition website. That website is www.keepcalmheretostay.com. Again, that website is www.keepcalmheretostay.com. Our toll-free number is 844-897-0056. Again, it's toll-free, 844-897-0056. I would also like to announce that we will be rebroadcasting the Steren Dealer Introduction, this webinar, every day next week, Monday through Friday, at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll repeat that again. We will be rebroadcasting Steren Dealer Introduction, this webinar, every day next week, Monday through Friday, at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Everyone will receive an email that will contain the link for you to join the webinar rebroadcast. At this time, I will hand the webinar over to Darren Rawson.
Thank you, Linda. First and foremost, thank you all for taking your time today out of your busy schedule to spend some time learning more about Steren Electronics. It's a privilege to speak to this group of current and former Radio Shack dealers, and gives us the opportunity to share the Steren story, our vision, and the plan that we have for the U.S. market and the dealer market going forward. Over the past couple days, we've held calls with over 200 dealers on calls in attendance yesterday and over 150 dealers on calls today. I can't tell you how excited we are to work with this group. Speaking for myself and the entire Steren organization, we are truly thrilled to have the opportunity to share our story with you today. Hopefully you've all received the packages of information that we shipped out last week with the presentation and an overview of the company by now. There's lots of great information about our company, our proposal in that packet. Please set aside some time to review this information. Here's what I'd like to accomplish today on our call. Firstly, we'd like to share more information about who Steren Electronics is as a company. You may or may not know about us, but we have a long history, a deep history in the consumer electronics space that we'd like to share with you. Secondly, we'd like to share our vision of how we can create a business partnership and truly be a solution provider for your stores. Third, we'd like to give you some details about what we can do for you immediately and in the near future. And lastly, we'd like to share our vision for how our businesses can work together, the Steren brand with the independent dealer partners. I'd like to start with a quick overview of Steren Electronics for you. You may not have heard of the name Steren previously, but Steren's been in the consumer electronics retail business for almost 60 years, and we have a rich history similar to that of Radio Shack. I'll share our history, our product offering, and a sampling of photos from our stores. And after that, I'd like to share how Steren proposes to work with the independent dealers to support your business, both in the short term, and share our vision for a long-term partnership. Craig Fellman, President of New Tech Supply, will then share our product availability plan, after which we will open up the call to questions that have previously been submitted or that you share today through the question feature on the GoToMeeting panel at the right of your screen. As Linda shared, we welcome questions during the call. You can type your questions into the GoToMeeting questions on the tab on the right of the box. Please add those questions early so we can ensure that as many questions as possible are addressed. So I work here at Steren Electronics, but I have to share with you that this company is truly an amazing company. We were founded over 60 years ago in Mexico City by the patriarch of the family that still owns this company today. We operate hundreds of Steren stores and Steren shop stores throughout Mexico and have expanded across several Latin American countries over the past several decades. We have a long history in the consumer electronics, retail, and manufacturing processes that we bring to today's discussion, and we're really excited about the potential to bring these to your stores. Additionally, Steren has operated in the U.S. market for almost 40 years. We support major contracts with cable and satellite TV operators where we have always been a preferred product supplier for a broad range of installation products. We also support wholesale and retail distributors with quality and value-priced consumer and business electronics products. Although we do not currently have a retail presence in the U.S. at this time, we're extremely excited to extend our capabilities, our products, and our services into the independent store market. Steren Electronics is a vertically integrated company. We manufacture and retail over 5,000 consumer electronics products. These products cover 25 product categories. Our product management teams add dozens of new products every year, and we cover almost every category of products that Radio Shack offers. Additionally, as a privately held company, we truly embrace and respect the entrepreneurial spirit that has made your business successful, and candidly, it's at the very heart of our business model. Independent store ownership is a core principle to Steren's business, and one of the principal reasons we're so very excited to partner with this group of business owners. We believe in the independent store owners, and we believe that you have the right combination of skills, business acumen, and salesmanship to deliver success, both financial and personal, and for your company and for ours. In Mexico, we support our existing stores with branding, merchandising, marketing, advertising, and much, much more. We believe that this is our responsibility to ensure your success. We want to bring this approach, product offering, brand support, to the U.S. market, and we truly believe that the independent dealer network on this call today that we've contacted and reached out to are a perfect fit for Steren, and Steren should be a perfect fit for your business. Steren is purpose-built to support environments like the current dealer network in the United States. We have the product offering, the packaging, the store merchandising, the technology platform, manufacturing and fulfillment expertise to provide a comprehensive solution in support of a retail store environment. We hope that as we go through this presentation and future conversations with you, we can demonstrate to you that Steren can deliver a business partnership with independent store owners that is flexible, fair, and dealer-focused. Our experience, our infrastructure, our manufacturer direct capabilities and approach provide a perfect platform for Steren to support the U.S. dealer network and we look forward to bringing these resources in support of your business growth. I'd like to share a few photos of the stores that we have throughout Latin America. In the packet that we sent to you last week, or may have arrived early this week, you'll find many, many more examples of Steren stores and Steren shop stores that we support throughout Latin America. The Steren retail presence throughout Latin America is considerably large, and it's sophisticated. The company supports almost 400 independently owned stores and is expanding with double-digit growth annually. As you can see by these photos, we've got a broad selection of products that we offer in our stores and a very comprehensive product merchandising approach. Our products are professionally packaged, and we support our stores with extensive branding, merchandising, marketing, advertising, technical support in support of an ultimate consumer experience. In fact, Steren sponsors premium advertising at every single Premier League soccer game in every stadium in Mexico. It's a demonstration of our commitment to helping to solidify our position as the #1 consumer electronics brand in that market. We look forward to bringing that type of approach to support your stores in our market as well. After the bankruptcy announcement for Radio Shack, we went out and solicited feedback from several dozen of the independent dealers regarding getting some advice regarding how Steren should best position ourselves to add the most value for the dealers that are out there and ensure that we can develop a win-win business relationship. Based on those conversations and the meetings that we had, we've identified the following 2 options for working with Steren. These aren't necessarily either-or options, but it gives us an opportunity to do something quickly while also giving you a long-term vision and approach. The issues that we heard were most important to you as business owners were as follows. First and foremost, provide us a source of product that can replace the breadth of private label and branded product offering that you have in your stores today. Secondly, we have to ensure that we can provide comparable and, in our mind, better profitability and competitive selling prices on the products that we sell you and support you with in the consumer markets that you serve. Third, it became very clear that it's important for you to have a simple, straightforward, and clear engagement terms with any partner going forward. Fourth, we heard that you need to be able to participate in a program that delivers branded marketing, merchandising, advertising, and promotion that gives you the ability to stand out amongst the crowd of stores and options that your consumers have. And last, we heard that the dealers that we spoke with want an opportunity to participate in a member loyalty program that rewards them for their participation in the sales that they generate for the brand. Ultimately, to accommodate these needs and provide the simplest and most efficient path to support the dealers through this transitional period, we felt it was truly important to partner with a great company in New Tech Supply so that we could provide an immediate process for product fulfillment, both the Steren products that we're talking about as well as branded products that you need for your stores. We know that we need to earn your business, and we feel the best way that we can do that is by providing a simple, open process to work with Steren so that you can buy Steren products with limited difficulties, high level of service, and a commitment and focus from us, our teams here at Steren and at New Tech. We're excited to offer products through New Tech and encourage you to work with them immediately to support your stores as we engage in deeper discussions with you individually about a branded store opportunity. Craig will share more about New Tech Supply and the product availability shortly. We're excited about this opportunity and the ability to support your stores with products as quickly as possible. But for our part, Steren truly does want to have a significant U.S. store presence, and we're very excited to engage with you as potential partners in this business. We understand that you may have concerns about engaging in a partnership after the challenges you experienced as a result of the Radio Shack bankruptcy. We intend to demonstrate to you that we can provide a better solution. We want to work with independent business owners. We believe in this model. We want to be invested in your financial success. And to accomplish that goal, we want to create partnerships that are simple and complementary of each other's strengths. Over the coming weeks, we would like to engage in individual conversations where we can share the details of what being a Steren store would entail. But in summary, we do not expect you to incur any significant cost for converting your existing stores. It's in our best interest to provide a business model that invites you to participate with Steren and for us to demonstrate financial benefits of becoming an authorized dealer and a branded store. We do plan to grow our business not just with the existing dealers, but we will establish protected territories going forward and then grow our business by expanding new stores. And we look forward to partnering with our existing partners in this dealer network that we're contacting this week and next week to support the growth that may move into nearby and adjacent markets. Additionally, we won't look to create a restrictive relationship, but rather to implement our business practices and principles that respect the value of your independent business while supporting your participation through discounts, volume rebates, and the implementation of a long-term loyalty program for those stores that do choose to convert to a Steren brand. I encourage you all to review the details in the package that we provided, and we've also posted on the website www.staycalmheretostay.com. Representatives from NewTek will be contacting you over the coming weeks regarding the purchase of Steren and branded products, and representatives from Steren will be reaching out to arrange discussions regarding the process to become a Steren store. At this time, I want to hand off to my colleague, Craig Fellman, where he can review the availability of Steren and branded products over the coming months. Craig?
Thanks, Steren, and thanks to all you for taking time to be with us today. I'm going to head up the product availability side of things, but prior to that, I wanted to answer a few questions that we received that pertain to NewTek's relationship with Steren. So a lot of you have said you haven't heard of Steren, but NewTek has a long working relationship with Steren. It dates back to 2005. Our relationship has been as a distributor of their products. I can tell you from personal experience, we always receive high quality products. They ship promptly. We always have great service after the sale, and it's honestly been a pleasure to work with Steren. I'd also like to share some of my personal views that I've experienced over the last couple of months in working with Steren. We, Steren and NewTek, realized there could be an opportunity as a result of the bankruptcy of Radio Shack, so we started conversations about 2 months ago. Over that 2-month period, I've had the opportunity to visit several stores in Mexico and spend time with David, the owner. I was impressed to learn that over 80% of the dealers in Mexico own more than one store. In fact, one dealer had 18 stores. I took this as a sign that these dealers are very happy and successful. And it was really clear to me as we walked through the stores and met the owners that they were very respectful of David and appreciated all he had done for them. And I know from the conversations I had with David that he is very concerned about each one of those stores' success and the well-being of each store. It really, I got the feeling of family, that once you're a member or partner with Steren, you become a member of the family. Another question that I wanted to address is one dealer asked, how will Steren, whose retail side of the business is based in Mexico, translate to the U.S.? This is a really good question, and I'll answer it this way. I, like many Americans, tend to believe that we're more advanced or ahead of other nations. However, I can assure you the U.S. does not have a monopoly on good ideas or well-run companies. Again, after spending many hours and days with Steren, I can tell you from an insider's view that this company has the infrastructure and sophistication that will rival any U.S. company. It is really a first-class operation. And I would also add that we did invite 6 dealers from around the different regions of the U.S. to come visit Steren headquarters in San Diego. We took these dealers across the border, and they visited several stores and one distribution center in Mexico. After our visit of the store locations and distribution center, we returned to the headquarters and the dealers had the opportunity to spend several hours with David, the owner, as well as the management team. I believe the dealers came away with a good experience and an insider's view of Stern's capabilities, as well as our vision for the U.S. dealers. I won't give names, but I encourage each of these dealers to give an honest account of what they saw on their visit. Perhaps they could post on the Radio Shack dealer forum, or if they would like, we would post their uncensored thoughts on our Keep Calm Here to Stay website. But I think it's important that you dealers hear from persons that were not involved in Stern directly, but and don't have any reason to sugarcoat it. Finally, I would like to comment on the Stern's culture and the team members. As I said, NewTek and Stern have been working together for nearly 2 months on this idea, and over this time, I've spent long hours with each of the key persons at Stern. We've had many meals together, broken bread, and this time has given me the opportunity to get to know each of these people on a personal level. I can tell you without hesitation, Stern. The team at Stern is made up of a very talented group of people, ranging from the marketing side, the accounting side, the procurement and logistics. We've got top-notch people on this team. But really what impressed me most was the character, the integrity, and the work ethic that I saw each of these good people display. So honestly, I am excited and thrilled to be able to work with them. And I'll say in closing on my personal views that as a small distributor, a small business owner, for years I've had ideas and thoughts of things I'd like to do and would like to bring to the dealer base, and frankly I just didn't have the capital or resources to do it. And that's why I feel like this partnership with Stern is just the perfect fit, first and foremost for our customers and NewTek as well, because we just couldn't realize these thoughts and ideas and dreams I had without the capital and resources that Stern brings to the table. So that's some of my inside thoughts and views. I'm going to now switch over to product availability. We've broken this down into 3 phases. We have what we call our immediate phase, which is the time period is today to 60 days out. The plan for this immediate phase is to ask you to order directly through NewTek. Many of you already do that, and you're familiar that we have approximately 3,000 SKUs that are very consistent with what you were buying through Radio Shack, covering a broad array of categories. So really nothing changes on that side. We are expediting some Stern branded product up from Mexico, which we'll have in the next 10 to 14 days. And that's how we plan to handle the immediate needs to keep your shelf stocked and your peg hooks full. So phase 2, the time period is 30 to 120 days. That's when we'll start really focusing on the full breadth of Stern products. Or actually, let me rephrase that. Stern has a total of 5,000 SKUs. So our focus initially is we've identified the 500 what we call top seller high volume items. Myself and Alex Cohen, who is the VP of Purchasing and Logistics, have spent many hours together, and we're placing those orders this week to the factories in China. The ETA on these top 500 high volume products is approximately 75 days from now, which puts us July 1st, and we will be posting on the Keep Calm Here to Stay website a complete list of all these 500 SKUs with all your necessary data, the product number, descriptions, your costs, suggested retail. So if you choose to, you can load that into POS. While we're on the topic of Stern branded products, I want to emphasize one of the things that was most attractive to me about partnering with Stern is they have the best selection of what I call Radio Shack core items of any company I've seen. And what I mean by that is some people refer to it as the drawer items, and these would be your capacitors, your resistors, your toggle switches, your fuses. It's surprising to me how difficult these are to get. There's just not a lot of companies manufacturing and offering these types of products to dealers. So I was really thrilled that Steren has such a broad and comprehensive selection of those type of products. Along those same lines, they have the broadest selection of connectors and adapters that I've seen anywhere. They're also very strong in multimeters, soldering irons, all the accessories that go along with that, as well as the electronic cleaners, lubricants, and the other things that I consider core Radio Shack items and great traffic builders. You know, these are really underserved markets that the big boxes don't pay attention to, and that I think, you know, consumers look to you guys, the Radio Shack, or the independent retailers, to have. You know, of course, aside from that, it's a huge line of products. They do get into quite a bit of consumer electronics, and probably the greatest strength is their cables, and that would, of course, would range anywhere from HDMI, USB, Category 5, and so on. And one of the things that I'm excited about, you know, obviously NewTek carries these cables now, but the added benefit that Steren brings to the table is we're going to have a nice uniform packaging, uniform branding across, you know, all categories, and I think that's just going to make your stores, you know, so much more attractive. One other note on Steren that is very exciting to me is some of their unique products. One that really jumped off the table to me on one of my visits is the new cell phone boosters that they're bringing in. We have an ETA of mid-June, roughly a month away, but initially we're going to be offering 2 cell phone boosters, one for home, one for vehicle. The thing that's exciting to me is that we have spec'd these out, so the specifications and performance will be equal to Wilson branded, for example. I think they rebranded to WeBoost, but you can look for comparable features and performance to that brand at a much lower cost to you guys. And of course, the other added benefit is they'll be branded Steren, and they'll be exclusive to our members. In addition to the cell phone boosters, Steren has some really cool lines. One is called one of the lines is called Forte and Sequence. These are lines of multi-room audio solutions. They're simple plug-and-play solutions for home audio and home theater, and very cool stuff, and available only to our dealers. And let's see, then transitioning, as I mentioned in the previous webinars, NewTek has been tasked, and myself have been tasked with reaching out to third-party providers and third-party brands. We've made good progress in the last few weeks. In the last 3 weeks, we've signed up Altec Lansing. Of course, they have very high-end speakers as well as headphones. We have signed up with Digital Stream, and we are stocking their TV converter boxes. We have signed an agreement with Sherwood for all of their home audio products, and we also have signed an agreement and are now stocking Swan surveillance systems. In addition, speaking of Swan, they also do a full line of radio-controlled drones, which the order has been placed, and we have an ETA on those of approximately 7 to 10 days. So we're excited about that line, and we think that could play a big role in Q4 and the Golden Quarter. So we will keep you posted on that. And in addition to the brands I mentioned, we are also in dialogue with other third-party vendors, including Arctic Silver, SanDisk, and Consumer Cellular. We know that the postpaid phones are a big deal and a major traffic builder for stores, and I can assure you that we are working diligently to get those deals done. Finally, on this midterm section, we are aware that many dealers are looking for some of the key products that were only available through Shack. The top one that comes to mind is the Radio Shack number 15-548, and I'm sure many of you know that's the HDMI to composite adapter. We have sent samples to China. We expect to have pre-production samples back to us within the next 7 to 10 days. Once we can approve those samples, we're roughly 30 to 45 days out from making those available to the dealer base. So that concludes phase 2, and then finally phase 3 of product availability is what we call our long-term availability. and that time ranges 120 to 150 days. At that time, we expect to have all 5,000 Stern SKUs available to all dealers here in the U.S. Our plan is to have product in both our California warehouse as well as Stern's Memphis, Tennessee warehouse. The obvious benefit of having product in Memphis is that all you folks on that side of the Mississippi River are going to have much quicker delivery times than you currently experience when they're shipped from California. I believe that covers my side of it, so I will turn it back over to Darren.
Great. Thank you, Craig. I just want to share some thoughts here from Steren's perspective of our commitment to this opportunity, and ultimately what being a Steren store means for you should you choose to make a conversion for us. We are definitely committed to this U.S. market. We want to provide a plan for you to convert your stores, and we're committed to that success. We've got a broad product line. We're very competitive price-wise. We're going to put the resources that are required to make this happen. We'll provide MSRP prices that generate more sales for you. We believe that we can help you generate more profits from your existing stores. We are committed to providing our dealers with all the tools necessary to make this a successful transition, both short-term and long-term. We're looking forward to the opportunity to discuss more about Steren branded store potential with you now and in the long term. I'd like to shift to what we're calling a call to action. For Steren, we believe that we have to engage in a conversation with you to take the next steps going forward. In speaking for both the ownership and the management team of Steren, we're truly honored and privileged to share this time with you today, and we're very hopeful to work with you in the coming months to develop a plan that provides products and profits for your independent stores in partnership with Steren Electronics. We want to be in touch with you. You can contact us to set up an account with New Tech Supply and buy products today, and as Craig shared, he will be in touch with you to see what he can do to support you as well. We will be reaching out to you over the coming weeks to have a conversation about what a store conversion would include, and we will begin to post all the information, the questions, as well as the broadcasts that we've had this week on that website. Keep Calm, Here to Stay. The information isn't up today. We'll speak with our web development person, and hopefully we'll have that information up early next week. You can contact us directly at info@sterenusa.com, and you can call us at 844-897-0056. At this time, we want to review the questions and provide answers to any questions that were provided or submitted earlier, and I'll hand that over to Linda to read through the questions.
Okay. The very first question that we have here is, if we convert to a Steren store, are we limited to only Steren product, or will we still be able to sell items from other vendors?
Thank you, Linda. The question is a very important question. In our understanding of your businesses and the stores that you operate today and of the U.S. consumer, the availability of brand preferences or brand options is truly important. We envision a store environment whereby your stores will have a majority of Steren products across the majority of product categories, but that you still have the availability and truly the responsibility to provide options that are perhaps top shelf or high-end options that you can present to your consumers that are shopping at your stores today. We don't expect to be a one-brand store, but we do expect Steren to have a prominent position across the broad categories in the same way that the Radio Shack product has had over the past several years.
Another question we received is there a plan for a golden quarter that Steren or New Tech may play a larger role for toys and seasonal items? And are there any plans for Black Friday?
I'll take that question. So as I said in the earlier webinar, absolutely we are planning and putting things into place for Black Friday. As I mentioned earlier, I think the drones are a key item that will do extremely well during that time period. Steren is also coming out with a exclusive line of Jimi Hendrix licensed Bluetooth speakers that I think could do very well during the Golden Quarter. And the simple answer is yes. We don't have all the details at this time, but without a doubt, we will be there to support our members.
Another question we have, what assurances can be made about the quality of products being offered?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. Steren has been operating as a manufacturer of consumer electronics products for decades now, and we recognized very early on the importance of establishing a quality control and quality management process. We have dozens of staff affiliated with our ISO 9001 certification process in China that support all of our quality initiatives. We also support all of our products that go into the marketplace with the warranties specific to product and product class. However, we support our product in the field as the manufacturer, and we'll support you as our retail dealers into the marketplace as well.
Another question, what about forced POS? I want to use my existing POS going forward and not be forced to go to a second system.
That's a great question, and I'm happy to report that we have an agreement with IDsoft. As many of you know, IDsoft is the author of RSPOS. They literally are the same software with two different names. So whether you choose to and are able to go forward with RSPOS, or if you ultimately have to convert to IDsoft, the good news is we will integrate with this POS system. You will not have to learn a whole new system, and I've known Alan, the author of IDsoft and RSPOS, for many years, and I can assure you that he's going to make this available to you at a very affordable rate. I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 per month.
Another question, will Steren advertise and invest money in building their brand?
Absolutely. One of the great opportunities that we see is to partner with this group of individuals to launch our company on a broad scale across a fantastic spectrum of the United States. It's our commitment and the expectation that you can have from us that we will invest as well to grow and support your businesses, to grow and support our brand, not just for your stores, but as we grow our business beyond your stores, and hopefully in partnership with the store owners that are out there today. As we establish new territories and protect the territories that we start with, we will continue to invest in advertising, marketing, merchandising, and public relations as appropriate to grow our brand.
Another question, I'd like to start buying. How soon will we have products available at NewTek?
Again, a great question, and one we hear quite a bit. As I mentioned earlier, we've got the product availability broken down into 3 phases. Today, the initial immediate time frame from here to 60 days out, we ask that you continue to do business as usual through NewTek. As I mentioned, we stock 3,000 different SKUs, covering the vast majority of what I believe you need to run your stores. And we are diligently and actively working to get Stern branded product in. We do plan to transition out of some of our other brands. You know, for example, USB cables that are currently branded ProLinks will phase out as we start bringing in the Stern branded product. But the answer to the question is product is available immediately, and we welcome your orders, and that's how we're handling the immediate need.
I have a question here that says, please don't make us pay to do business with you. Can we comment on that?
Yes, absolutely. We certainly heard during our conversations with numerous dealers and franchisees of the Radio Shack business that there was a complex and convoluted approach to how money was feed to or royaltied from the dealers and franchisees. That's one of the reasons why we seek to establish a very clear, very simple, and very straightforward process for how we buy and sell products from you, and anticipate, particularly with the existing store network, a very low-cost transition predominantly associated with just the branding and signage conversion components. We don't expect to be in a fee-oriented business. We are in a product-selling business. We want to help and support your business to grow by virtue of providing you with great, high-quality products at competitive prices and good margins so that we all thrive.
Another question, will there be a Steren logo brand to put on the outside of the store, or will we rebrand our store to Steren?
If I understand the question correctly, the question is related to the branding of a store. The specifics on the details to each individual store really needs to be resolved with each individual store owner, and that's why we anticipate having calls with all the store owners that are interested in a brand conversion. At this time, I can't commit specifically what the costs associated with the Steren brand change is, but I can 100% commit that the entire Steren team is extremely supportive of the opportunity and the process associated with converting your stores to a Steren brand.
Another question that we just received, I have a store that is 2 stores in one. I might be willing to be a Steren electronics store, but I do not want it to restrict my other business, which is hobby gaming.
So again, that's one of the key reasons that we need to have store conversion calls with each individual business owner. Our expectation, although I have not seen or heard this specific question before, we know and understand there are store within store situations, and we want to be supportive and flexible of the business environment that you as entrepreneurial business owners run. We believe you're successful because of how you choose to do business. We want to make sure that we're a product provider and a brand support provider and a store conversion provider that works best for your business. And I look forward to that conversation specifically. Thank you.
Another question, what is Steren's viewpoint on store territory coverage and the potential for competition between stores? Is this something they can address, that they have addressed in their Latin America store footprint?
Yeah, that's a great question, and the answer is yes. We fully understand the necessity of establishing protected territories for stores. In Latin America, we have territories that are assigned, that are defined very clearly, and we support our store owners and defend their territories in support of them individually. We will implement that type of a program here in the United States as well in support of this existing dealer network. And as we said, we plan to grow. We hope to grow with the store owners that we work with initially, because we know you see opportunities out there for expansion where you could take our brand and our product offering and start new stores on your own that we can support you with. We would do this under assigned territories to protect your business and the new businesses as we grow throughout the United States.
The next question, will the top 500 high-volume SKUs have a cross-reference SKU for Radio Shack?
That is an excellent question, and the answer is yes. Again, Alex and I have been working very diligently, and that is a key thing that we put some time and effort into, is having, where available, a Radio Shack number correspond with the Steren number. In fact, today we do have the ability on the NewTek website for you, the customers, to search for products using the Radio Shack SKU number. But going forward, definitely that's part of the plan and something we're doing right now.
The next question, I see that Steren products appear in Walmart, Amazon, and eBay. What is Steren's plan to protect us to ensure we are not undercut on pricing and or availability in other sales channels?
Yes, thank you for that question, whoever submitted that. This is a very important issue and one that we are in the process of addressing quickly to support you as our future partners on the go-to-market as independent dealers. Steren in Mexico has a very clear path as it relates to supporting their dealers and supporting their independent stores. Where they have product in non-store markets, they've taken the additional step to provide differentiated packaging as well as differentiated part numbers so that it becomes extremely difficult to shop or compare the products that may end up online or may end up on in competitive stores. It's our full intention to commit as much resource and effort to this group of dealers and these stores, and we'll work to establish any manufacturer authorized pricing to push the costs up in the different channels that are not the store channels to support your ability to sell the products as we grow and develop this market together.
The next question, will there be minimum purchase requirements?
Another good question, and I can tell you no. As we said in this immediate phase, from now to 60 days out, we ask that you place your orders through NewTek, and our policy has always been there's a no minimum dollar amount required and a no minimum quantity amount required. Obviously, for your own benefit, we encourage you to order in levels that will allow us to assist with shipping. Today, those parameters are if you order $350, we will pay half the shipping. If you order $700, we will pay all the shipping. But again, there is no minimum. We understand that there's times where you just need a couple items in a hurry, and we are happy to fill those orders.
Another question we received, when will the Steren Tennessee warehouse be available? California is far away from the Northeast and takes a lot of time to get to me. I have an account with NewTek, but don't use them a lot because of shipping time.
Craig, do you want to take that one?
I will jump in on that one. Yes. So what we're discussing, and again, this goes back to our three-phase approach on product availability. The Memphis warehouse we envision coming into play towards the end of Phase 2 and beginning of Phase 3. That time period is between 90 and 150 days. And that's primarily because we literally have to place orders to China, which we are doing this week, and there's approximately a 75-day lead time from production, shipping across the ocean, clearing customs, getting product trucked out to Memphis. So it's something we're eager to do. We understand that it's very, very important for all the folks east of the Mississippi. And to answer the question, the time period for having stock in Memphis would be between 90 and 150 days.
The next question, will we have a printed catalog, and what other marketing will be used?
We recognize that marketing and advertising are critical to the growth of your businesses, and we believe that as the internet transforms some of the marketing channels and some of the advertising channels, that we will be investing largely in a variety of multiple channel approach to support your stores, to support the brand. And candidly, we really do expect to provide things that are blended, local and national, that help you get a very targeted message to your local customers while leveraging the value of the national brand. As it relates to a printed catalog, we certainly envision at some point there is a necessity for this, and we are investigating what that necessity is and what the time frame might take to build and deliver that catalog to the dealers.
We have time for one more question. Will store fixtures be available for expansion?
So I think Expansion is an interesting question. We have store formats that we utilize in Mexico, and we understand from the existing dealers that we've had conversations with that many of them do have significant investments in store fixtures from their days as a Radio Shack dealer or franchisee. We would look to take advantage of quality store fixtures that you may already have in your stores, or if you believe, or if we believe in a conversation that there is a need to make a fixture conversion as part of the store conversion, we would discuss what the process would be to acquire, install, and set up your store conversion fixtures to support Steren products on a go-forward basis. We believe that having a professional store with a breadth of product, easily viewable, strong product merchandising is critical to your success and our success going forward. And we certainly will have that equipment available to us as we roll out our store conversion and new store implementations.
Darren, I'll hand it over to you now, and then I'll make final announcements.
Great. First and foremost, thank you so much for your time today. We are, as an entire team, excited about the opportunity to partner with you. We truly believe that Steren Electronics is a fantastic fit for your independent dealer stores and for your network that you have established over the years. Strong business owners, entrepreneurs, demonstrated profitability, exactly the type of companies that we want to do business with. We're all running 100 miles an hour to put this in place to make sure that we can give you the most service, the best service, the product availability, the branding, the support for the stores as possible. We look forward to communicating with you, getting your feedback, getting your questions and answers provided. As we shared earlier, we have many channels to communicate with us, and we plan on reaching out and contacting you to confirm your interest in a store conversion, and on the new tech supply piece, confirm your availability and interest in purchasing products. I thank everyone for their time. This is the most important thing that we've done in the United States market, and we are all committed to its success. Thank you so much.
I would also like to add and remind everybody that you can email us at info@sterenusa.com. That's info@sterenusa.com, or feel free to call us on our toll-free number, 844-897-0056. That's 844-897-0056. Or visit our transition website at www.keepcalmheretostay.com. www.keepcalmheretostay.com. We will also be having a rebroadcast of our Steren dealer introduction every day next week at 9 o'clock a.m., 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock p.m., all Eastern Time. 9 o'clock a.m., 3 o'clock p.m., and 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And I'd also like to mention that next week we will not only have the rebroadcast up on our website, but we will also have all the questions and the answers posted on the website for everybody to review. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll keep in touch.